Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rai here. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you some of my thoughts on Tom Clancy's The Division, the upcoming big open world, massively multiplayer, online, living, breathing New York City extravaganza that Ubisoft is releasing on March 8th. Now, they have a beta coming up. They've already had a closed, or an alpha, and I believe a closed beta. And they're coming up beginning March 18th on Xbox and March 19th on PC and PS4. A open beta for you to try this game out. And with that, they've also kind of patched and updated the game and are going to give you a little more things to do in the beta. And they've been releasing more information on it as the game gets closer to release. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about that, give you my thoughts and feelings on this game, where it's headed, what I hope for, and what I expect. Because I do believe I'm going to pick up this game, and I hope it's a good one, and I'm really kind of looking forward to it. But I also am apprehensive, like I normally am, and have some questions about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, The Division is, like I said, a big, massive, open world online game where you and a group of your, I think, 3 other friends and a squad of 4 can get together and complete missions in and around New York City and go exploring and go into the Dark Zone, which is a player versus player type area, and get all kinds of loot. It's really a loot-driven game, similar to a Destiny, Borderlands type of thing, and it plays great. I have to say it, even for a beta. And again, I understand it's a beta, it's not a demo. So disclaimer for those of you that were basing your, if you're going to buy the game or not based on what you played a couple weeks ago, what you're going to play here beginning on the 18th or the 19th. If you're basing it on that, remember, it's a beta. It's not the final product. A lot of times these betas, when they do come out, guys, they're earlier builds. It's not even close to the final build. So you got to keep that in mind when playing the game. But it can give you a good idea about what to expect in the game. Now, I played in the alpha, I've played in the beta, and I like it. This game can be fun, but I think it's more fun like these games are if you have friends to play with, if you're playing in a group of friends. I'm not so sure if it's going to be that fun going in solo. And for a guy like me that tends to work sometimes late at night, doesn't get off sometimes off of work until 11 o'clock at night or midnight, the limited amount of my friends not being online, being able to play with them, that could cause a problem for me in this game, at least playing some of the Dark Zone missions and some of the other missions. So that's a concern. Another concern I had was in playing the beta, the sparseness of it. It just didn't feel like there was much to do. Again, I know they're holding back. They're not going to, show their hand before launch. But just the fact that, there was only a few missions here and there, and is that all it's going to be? I was thinking, all it's going to be is a couple a main mission or two, and then some side missions? Are there, kind of sub-main missions, similar to certain quest lines you'll have in like a Fallout, for example, or something like that, that aren't small little miscellaneous randomized quests, but actual kind of alternative quest lines and different things like that? What are we going to have with that? Well, that was put to rest when I saw a video earlier this week that showed a guy bringing up the map and just dotted with all sorts of stuff to do across the map. So if I go on that, at least it leads me to believe that there's going to be plenty to do in this game, or we're not going to be having an issue of missions to complete or NPCs to fight or things like that. Furthermore, they've also released some patch notes with this new beta that's coming out, stating that they've increased the number of NPCs in areas, in the Dark Zone areas, as well as like refresh rates for things like that, and making them tougher and different things like that, which is good. I don't want the Dark Zone to just be what it felt like in the beta was, run around, not much to do, the streets just feel empty. And again, I get that the streets are going to feel empty in a post-apocalyptic, virus-ridden New York City, whatever it is. But this is still a video game, and you want stuff to do and stuff to play. And if going through the Dark Zone means I just kind of walk around and see other players, and it's a Mexican standoff if we shoot each other or not, or go to the extraction time, take their extraction, that could get real old real quick. So more to do in the Dark Zone, more different missions to do in the Dark Zone would be a lot more fun for me and my buddies to go in there, because ultimately that's where the fun in these games lie, is going in as a co-op type experience, bringing your buddies in with you, and getting in there and taking out a big boss or a raid or something like that. So I'm hoping to see that in the game once it's released. Now, another issue I had in the beta, and this happened to me specifically, was the way you become a rogue agent. I hope it's refined. It could be tough, guys. Quite honestly, I'm kind of like at a loss for words because I'm thinking, rogue agent thing I'm not so sure about yet. In the beta, what happened to me was we were in a firefight with some NPCs, me and my crew. Another crew of about 4 or 5 guys show up to also fight those NPCs. I'm across the street from some NPCs. I'm shooting into the NPCs. And lo and behold, another player, not on my squad, crosses in my line of fire. I'm shooting the NPC, but he decides he's going to run up close and cross into my line of fire after I'd already, was basically unloading a clip in an NPC. Well, he crosses in the line of fire just at the right time, so guess what happens? I get hit as a rogue agent. Me and my whole crew do. So then everybody turns their guns towards us, not realizing that, it was an accident. Now, if we were in party chat, which we prefer. If we were in game chat, sure, you have that proximity voice and people can hear you and stuff like that. That might not have changed their mind one bit because of the reward you get for killing a rogue agent. So there's things like that I don't know how you would solve that per se. I tried to stop shooting at the guy as he was in front of me, but again, the bullets were flying. I let him go. I saw him cross in front. I let go, but I guess I hit him with enough bullets to go rogue agent. So that's something that I hope they can refine and fix, is little tweaks like that. Another thing, the Dark Zone, from what they've been saying, is going to have a better chance at getting great rewards and some loot that you can't get anywhere else, and better loot, people have been saying, and things like that. And that worries me, because what if I don't want to go in there and play that game type? What if I want to stay and just go around with my buddies and go grab go on missions and get legendary gear by killing those different raids or bosses or whatever they're going to have, completing those missions together and things like that. It'd be cool if you could. It's cool you can do that in the Dark Zone, but the fact that I'm kind of feel like possibly like forced to go in there if I want to get certain weapons or certain gear or certain legendary items, I'm not so sure I like that. I don't want the game to be to where they're kind of pushing you in to go to the Dark Zone to get stuff. Like I said, sometimes it'll be midnight, 1 o'clock, I get off work, I want to come home after a long day and play my new game, and I sit down, and I might be the only one of my friends online, and I go and get into the game, and next thing you know, I'm cruising into, I have to cruise into the Dark Zone to get some of this stuff. Well, I'm not going to do that as a solo player. You're just asking to basically get, kind of taken out for the most part. Now, again, we'll see when the game comes out if that changes, or if it changes how I play when it does. There's always that possibility. But, that's a concern of mine as well. I hope to see something where you kind of have a little more balance in the game as far as the loot systems created. I don't know too many games where they have a separate multiplayer section that allows you to get better loot.
Terrifying.
Usually it's pretty balanced out. You can get this loot anywhere, but you don't have to go here. But again, this is a different animal. This isn't Destiny. It's not Borderlands. It's something different where you can actually turn your gun on another player and kill them and try to steal their loot. And there's that kind of element there. So, we'll see when it comes out what ultimately that's gonna be like and how that's gonna play out. Again, though, I am excited about this game. It seems to play very smooth. I didn't have there's a couple issues that they're working on. They already have a patch worked out for this new beta. It's going to have a bunch of bug fixes and polish and different things like that. But I'm really interested in playing this game and seeing ultimately how it kind of plays out, and getting in there with my friends and seeing what kind of fun it was. I did, when I was able to get in with my friends, have a fun time playing in the beta. We had a good time playing together, and sometimes deciding, are we going to sneak up on these rogue agents, and how are we going to do that, and okay, are we going to become rogue? Should we take these guys out and then try to see if we can survive, and doing different things like that. It can be fun. There's an element there of doing that, but I'm only able to do that if my friends are online playing. You're likely not going to do that and just decide to go rogue if you're in the Dark Zone playing solo. The polish of this game, though, seems really good. It looks great. I thought the weather effects were fantastic. Overall, visually, it's a stunning game. The gunplay and the way that plays out seems to be really well done. There were issues in the beta, though, where I would all of a sudden get shot and be downed, and I had no idea where I was getting shot from, no warning, nothing like that. My friends complained about it from time to time as well, which tells me there's some maybe server netcode issues, some things like that they need to iron out and tweak. I even tested my settings at that, or my internet speeds at that time when those were happening, and they were fine. They were blazing fast, so there shouldn't have been a problem. So certain things like that, you'd want to see them tweak and get straight before the game is released, because you don't want a bad launch with this game. You don't want to see this game really suffer from being unplayable early on, especially because it is so multiplayer centric. Anyway, guys, that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe and comment. And let me know if you're looking forward to this and what your thoughts were on the beta and going to play the game when it's released. Definitely let me know, because I'd love to hear what you have to say. Till next time, this is Rai. Take care.